week I have a crush. Been pushing and pulling, it won't open, it's no good, and I'm wide awake now. I can't get no sleep.
The Blades Ramble are proudly supported by our main channel sponsor, My Business Group, a group of brands designed to support owners, leaders and managers in business. We would not be where we are without the incredible support of John and the team. If you're looking to grow your business, contact mybusinessgroup.co.uk today for more information, or follow the link in the description below.
Blades fans, subscribe to Blades Ramble. Up the Blades.
What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to the Blade Ramble. I haven't put my lights on, so what is happening? Oh, there's always something. Tell me you can hear me. Can you not even see my thing? Can you see my thing? Oh my goodness me, this doesn't look good, does it? Start us off the right way. No, you can't see my thing. Where's my thing? Where's my thing? Let me copy my thing. Overlay. That's what it's called. Not a thing. Main overlay. Is that the one? Oh. This. Tell you what. What you want is you want somebody professional, don't you? You want someone professional to be able to do this. And that ain't me. That ain't me. So my email address needs to be typed in. Gmail.com. And then let's hope that I can spell this right, because it's so small. I cannot see it. It's teeny weeny. And then it should... Oh, what? Incorrect what? It's not like we're live, is it? How are we all doing anyway? Talk to me. How's things? Are you all well? It's good to see you all. I am just slightly panicking. Try and get everything worked in here. And it's not working. Last try. I ain't got my thing on, have I? At gmail.com. And then I know what my password is. I know it because I use it all the time. Oh, and it's worked that time. I must have not been doing it correctly in the first few occasions. So look at that. We are ready to go. Smooth, seamless. How has it got? It's always a bit of a rush for me on a Wednesday because my girls play football until 7 o'clock. Then I have to get back. Then I have to sort of start getting them ready for bed. So I have to make sure all the streams set up before I go. And it was. Everything was fine. That bottom bit was working and everything. And it chooses not to work on me today. So that's absolutely fine. We're okay. We played it cool and nobody noticed. So yeah, just run back now. They all got hot chocolates tonight because it's Christmas time after training. So Emily didn't want hers. Cheers, Em. She tried it. Didn't like it. I've got it. That's always a good thing. So we've got a little bit of time tonight if you want to. Last couple of times I've done these, we've been on a bit of a tight turnaround because of 3-game weeks for Sheffield United and things like that, which meant we'd had to squash some shows in together and sort of do them on days that we don't always do them on, because then we've had pretty much 2 shows a day across all 3 channels. Because if you're not aware, obviously we've got the Blades Ramble, we've got Ramble FC, we've also got Behind the Ramble, and those 2 other channels we're also ramping up the content on as well. So thank you to everyone that supports us across there. But this is your countdown to kickoff. And this is about Birmingham coming to town. Look, I can't get too... We've got a new show on a Monday, which thank you for all of those that have seen and commented and liked and shared or whatever, if you've not even had a chance to catch up with it yet. But myself and Cal Fowler, the Jim and Cal football show, where we are going to look at the forthcoming fixtures for Sheffield United that week. And Cal, as the EFL expert, is going to talk to us about what threats come to this... coming for Sheffield United around the corner, essentially. What we have to look out for, a little bit like an opposition review if we were talking to a fan of that team. So it just so happens to be Birmingham, who the previous week, when we'd done an updated championship table, he was steadfast in saying that Birmingham are so much better than Sheffield United. They've got a better squad than us. They've got a better team than us. Everything within context, they've certainly had a better start to the season than us. That's why they're higher than us in the league. Player for player, I don't think there's anything in it really in terms of. I think we beat them player. I'm not saying they ain't got good players on the side. Of course they have, and we respect every opposition. Anyway, we're gonna get into it in terms of how we set up previously, like we always tend to do. Wilder was absolutely fuming after that West Brom result. We've parked it. We've moved on because I think we have to. If we dwell too much on a result like that, and certainly a second half performance like that, then we could get into our own heads about it. And I'd like to think that it had a lot to do with it being... Can you remember the Hull game last season? I'm sure a lot of you can, where it had been Siddy and Tom Davis just absolutely slugging it out in the centre of midfield because we had nobody else. Coming up to turn at year, actually. Similar time to what we are now, maybe a couple of weeks on from where we are in this season. And we lost 3-0 against Hull, Ruben Sayers Hull, ironically. And it felt like the end of a really difficult period. Like, as in, like, we'd done okay. We'd sort of been hanging on at times in games. And to me, that period felt like a step too far. I'm hoping that this was more circumstantial than a rot or anything that we need to be concerned about, because we've just come off a really good run of results. And the performances were improving to go with that as well. Then we were hit with illness and injury in camp. We're not the only club to be hit by that. It's not an excuse by any means, but it's a reality of what we were facing as a club. So I think there is context to why we lost in the manner that, not necessarily in the manner that we lost. Wilder was fuming. He said afterwards, it was a shocking second half. I'm as frustrated and as angry as I've been for a long, long time. I've managed a lot of games for this football club, and that's right up there in terms of how frustrated and annoyed I am with our second half. They just thought that the game had come to them. They just thought it would just happen. You've got to go and fight for it. You've got to go and get it. And we were fuming, as you can tell just by some of the snippets of the quotes we've read there. And I were expecting a little bit of backlash from people outside the club for this sort of reaction, because it's an emotional, visceral reaction from him. Us fans, or the majority of us fans, like that element to his person. Whether you rate him as a manager or not, which, you know, is a whole different conversation, and I can't believe it's one that we have to have with some people, and that's just my opinion, but most of us love that side of him, the fact that he's a blade. And that sometimes can cloud his emotions. It can let his emotions run away from himself, can't he? I think sometimes. But I wouldn't have him any other way. Maybe he were a bit harsh on some of the players. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe they needed a reality check. He's not gone far wrong this season in the grand scheme of things, has he? I mean, I know it was a slow process to turn it around, but I think we all recognise the job that it's been. We've just dipped now, but we've lost a lot of good players. And we're being linked with quality as well. Come January and stuff like that. Joe Rothwell, I think, would be an ideal signing for us. There's all sorts to think about coming into January and having a week now. In fact, having 8 days to get ready for this, a full 7 at least, to get ready for this game where, as you can see here on the graphic, Jackie Robinson is coming back to town. Will he play? Will he start for Birmingham? He must do. Because when he was playing for Sheffield United, he was one of the best defenders in division, weren't he? That's what I was being told. Too harsh on him, Jimmy. And now he can't get into a side that's just been promoted from League One. So we'll have to wait and see whether Jack Robinson plays or not. Let's have a look at the Blades team that went to West Brom last time out. Started off in goal with Michael Cooper. It was a back four of Sariki, Tanganga, McGuinness. In fact, it were McGuinness on the right, Tanganga on the left. Got to be accurate with that. And Burrows on the as left back. Don't rate Tanganga on the left side of defence anywhere near as much as I like him on the right-hand side of defence. McGuinness had a bit of a shocker. As I say, we're moving past this West Brom game because it doesn't do us any good to dwell on it, I don't think. It's just one that you have to park and move on from. Riedeveld, great to see him back in the middle after illness. Maybe it was a little bit too early for him. Wasn't it one of his more dominant performances, but I think he always gives us that assurance in the middle. The fact that he's signed a new deal is really, really impressive for the club. And I'm more impressed that we have got it in our favour. It must be a decent wage. That's all I'll say, because we've now signed him on a deal to the end of the season. For those that aren't aware, we've signed him on a deal to the end of the season with the option of a further year, which is exactly what we'd want. I would have said 2 years plus 1 in my ideal world, because I think he's 29. But we get him to the end of the season, and then we've got the option whether we want to extend it or not. And that's obviously so we can assess our financial situation. So we won't, chances are we don't get promoted this season, believe it or not. So we're a championship side next season. How do we shuffle around the finances that are available to us? And that's what we have to work out in the summer. We might get a bid for Gus. And if you get a bid for Gus and £12 million comes into the football club and his wage gets off the wage bill, we might be able to offer Gyro a better deal or a longer deal, that sort of thing. If not, and Gus stays, we don't make the sales we anticipate, Gyro might be sacrificed. All these sort of things that we have to balance out. He was in the middle with Samari, who took some stick in the comment section when we were doing our watch along. Understandable that people are down on him because he had a shocker against Norwich the game before, but I don't think he did too badly against West Brom. I thought he were anonymous in the second half, but I don't think anybody can stick their hand up and say they did really well. On the left, it was Gustavo Hamer, who is certainly not his free-flowing best. Andre Brooks was on the right, who I thought was also quite disappointing. But again, these aren't individual performances to dig out. Collectively, it was a poor performance. I even thought Patrick Bamford, the Ramble's own Patrick Bamford, was poor. Not poor, but it was certainly his quietest game in a Sheffield United shirt. And Campbell, again, similar. I don't think he was terrible, but I don't think he did anywhere near enough. What else can you say about that performance? We scratch it and we'll move on. I think that's the best way to do it. So, what is my predicted lineup? And this, when we're on a winning run under Wilder, I'd do my predicted lineup like I'm going to do now, and then my desired lineup, the one that I would like to see. And when we were winning, it was I was going with the predicted lineup, and then my team, very little changed with what I thought Wilder would play, because Wilder is the man to pick the team. The team was winning at the time. Now we've got 1 point from 2 games. I feel like I can make a few tweaks as to what I would like to see differently compared to what he's doing at the moment. That's just my personal opinion, because I think he might line up like this. And again, it's a stab in the dark. Michael Cooper in goal. I think it's going to be a back four of Sariki. I think he goes with McGuinness again. I don't think Bindon gets in. I think Dave the Nose made a really good point on 3 Mardy Blades that if Tyler Bindon's not staying in the team and we're rushing McGuinness back, then he's a clear fourth choice centre half is Tyler Bindon, and chances are he goes back to Nottingham Forest. I think McGuinness starts this game. I think it's a little bit of a redemption opportunity for him, because he was certainly poor against West Brom, one of the more standout lower scoring players. Mark by Meldrew, agreed. A little bit like he did with Samari and keeping him in for West Brom. I think he'll keep McGuinness in for Birmingham personally. Tanganga, I think will start on the left-hand side again. And I'm going Sam McCallum. I think we'll come back into the side just for his energy up and down that left-hand side. I think Wilder will go with Ollie Arblaster and Gyro Riedeveld in the middle. Ollie's had a little bit more time to recuperate and get... He certainly won't finish the game, but I think that's our strongest two that we can go with at the moment while City pecks out. I think he starts Gus on the left instead of Callum O'Hare, despite Gus not pulling up any trees. I think Andre Brooks starts again on the right for balance. And I think this time he might go with Bamford, and Tommy Cannon up top, because I think I would go with this front two, and obviously I'll come to my team in a minute as well. I'd go with this front two because I think Tyrese Campbell coming on at 60 minutes can cause damage to teams. And I also feel like we've seen before, when he's not starting, it has previously sent a rocket up him. So I would like to see that impact again from Tyrese Campbell if we can. So that's Wilder's team that I think might play. And again, it's a complete stab in the dark, because we also haven't had the press conference. That'll likely be either tomorrow or Friday, and we don't know the availability of some of these players. But from what we do know, this is the team I think he might go with. The team I would go with is this. Excuse me, I am getting better, but can't shift this cough. Obviously, Michael Cooper in goal. I am starting with Sariki at right back as well. I'm sticking with McCallum at left back, although it were Burrows last time out, but I'm going McCallum left back. I want Japhet Tanganga on the right-hand side, and I want Tyler Bindon on the left. I don't think this will happen. Even if Bindon starts, I think they'll be the other way around. But Bindon played a lot of games for Reading as centre-half. Even though he's right-footed, played a lot of his games as a left centre-back because he was the better of the two centre-halves at Reading, the two right-footed centre-halves. So, a little bit like we're doing with Jaff, I think we should be comfortable enough to play Japhet Tanganga in his strongest position. We've seen what an impact he can have when he plays there. I'm also going with Ollie Arblaster and Gyro Riedeveld in the middle. I'm going to start with Andre Brooks on the right. Again, I thought it were a fairly poor performance from him. He'll be disappointed with his performance against West Brom. But have we a better option on the right? I'm not entirely sure we have at the moment. Andre Brooks starts on the right for me and Callum O'Hare starts on the left. What does this guy have to do to nail down a first-team place this season? We'll continue to say that he's been our best player this year because I truly believe that that's the case. Again, that's just my opinion. If you disagree, then let me know. And I know we're leaving Gus Hamer out, but Gus has to earn his way back into this team. You can't just be in a team on reputation alone. I think it sets a really dangerous precedent. And I'm going with the front two, like we've said. I would like to see Pat Bamford and Tom Cannon up front together. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. How will our opposition line up then? How will our oppo line up? Birmingham City. So this is how they lined up last time out. They're another side that plays with a 4-2-3-1. So from that team, let's have a look. Allsop in goal, obviously. Tomoki, Newman, Clara and Cochrane is the back four. So Tomoki must be, is that Iwata? Must be right back. Cochrane left back and the two big lads, Newman and Clara, are the centre halves. Tommy Doyle and Pauk are the centre midfielders. We know all about Tommy Doyle. Apparently Pauk is slightly better than him according to Cal. We'll have to wait and see. Dangerous middle three of Patrick Roberts on the right, Jay Stansfield in the 10, but can obviously go up alongside the front man, and Damari Gray on the left, who can cause problems. But look, Sariki can match him certainly for pace. He kept Sorba Thomas quiet all game against Stoke. Don't bank against Sariki to have a good game against Damari Gray and see him out of the game. It'd be a really big challenge for Sariki on Saturday, but I'm sure he can live up to it. And then we've got Duck up front. All right, Duck. Don't know much about him, in all honesty. Let's have a look. Jackie Robinson there on the bench. Don't know how, but Jackie Robinson on the bench. And Kyogo. Erin Cashin. Asai Samuel there, I can just about see. Lewis Kumas, another player that's been linked with the Blades over time. So, yeah, how do they line up? Like we said, they're currently playing a 4-2-3-1. They have done all season. The form is patchy at the moment, and we'll talk about that in a minute. They're 13th at the moment. The manager is Chris Davis, former Arsenal coach. Key man Jay Stansfield. The last 5 games they've drawn, won, lost, and drawn. But before we came on, I was just having a quick look to see the discrepancies between their home form and their away form. And in the last 10 games, at home, Birmingham are the 3rd best side in the league. They have played 10, won 6, drawn 3, and only lost 1. Away from home, bottom of the league. So when they come away from St Andrews, they've played 10, won 1, drawn 2, and lost 7. That is an absolutely astounding contrast in their form. They are great at home and crap away, basically, in terms of the form. It doesn't mean we're going to turn up and do them, but that is the current state of play. So let me know what you think in terms of that. I'm going to give you my score prediction as well. In fact, there's a couple of bits I need to cover before I forget, because I don't think I've got a... Yeah, so the champ table looks like this. They're 13th. I'd change that as well. We've obviously played 21 games, not 20. But yeah, there's 6 points separators at the moment. So we'll just have to wait and see how we get on. But I fancy us just to nick it. That'll surprise many of you, I'm sure, on this biased Sheffield United channel. But But yeah, I fancy us to nick it. I think we're going to have enough. I think we turn it around here, and I think we get going again a little bit. I think we need to. It's not necessarily a must-win, but it's. They will have had the rocket of all rockets. They'll have had a hard week this week. I know some people that went down to the on the charity event at the hospitals this week. Rich Carrington's Skills People group were represented by Lou Walker and a few others that we know, and the players have had it this week. They have been trained hard, they have been worked hard, and they get it. So, and that's no less than we'd expect, is it? No less than we'd expect. So that is, I think that's about everything. I want to say before I forget, and I will remind you towards the end if I remember to, I am being peer pressured by people in the Platinum group to do an after party, come rain or shine, on Saturday, because it's so close to Christmas. We've already had our Christmas do, but can we have another, basically? It's pretty much what they're saying. So I'm conscious there's a lot of people that still like a 90 after 90. I do too. I love 90 after 90. So what we're going to do, come rain or shine, and this is for you, Big T, come rain or shine, on Saturday, we will be doing a live after party. Win, lose or draw, the after parties forevermore. Just for this one occasion. We'll then do a 90 after 90 hybrid special on Sunday with the three Mardy Blades. It's our Christmas special, if you like. We'll badge it up as that. And that's how we'll do it, I think. So we'll still get to... You'll get to have the callers come on and talk about it, but Dave and the Man Mountain will be there to give their opinions as well throughout. And we'll just have a good time, won't we, this weekend? Whether, win, lose or draw. Because we can't rely on Sheffield United to have a good weekend, if we're all honest, can we? So, what are you all saying about this then? Ontario Blade starts us off. John, I believe, if I'm remembering everybody's name right. Hi, Jim. If I was the manager, I would say try something radical. Play with a right footer at right centre-back and a left footer at left centre-back. We all know Tanganga plays better at right centre-back. I would try Zatterstrom at left centre-back. He may rise to the occasion, but Wilder will play Bindon, but not at left centre-back. Full-backs would be Sariki and McCallum. Midfield, Chong. To be honest, I forgot about Chong's availability. So it could be Chong or Brooks, but I'm still sticking with Brooks. Chong, Gyro, Blaster, Callum O'Hare, forwards, Cannon and Bamford. We're not too far away there. Ontario Blade. Use Gus Campbell and Ings from the bench. I heard Birmingham's goalkeeper James Beadle is injured for Saturday's game. Yes, I've heard the same. It will be Ryan Alsop, I believe, which is good news for us. Batman Lou says, evening Jim, tricky game this. Goes without saying, Cal's favourite team loves them more than Barnsley. They're not great on the road though. I'm backing United to win it 2-1. My preferred team is Cooper, Sariki, Tanganga, Bindon, McCallum, O'Hare, Arblaster, Reedveld and Hamer, Cannon and Bamford. Up the Ramble, up the Blades, like and subscribe. So the only difference between our team is you've got Cal on the right and Gus on the left. I've got Cal on the left and Brooks on the right. Interesting, mate. Interesting. Home Funk says, evening all. Team I'd go for a big Coops, Sariki, Bindon, Tanganga, McCallum. Gus on the left, Reedveld, Samari and O'Hare on the right. Cannon and Campbell up top. Interesting, mate. Pete says, just want to say thanks for the birthday video. Just speaks to what a great person you are, Jimmy. Up the Blades, up the Ramble, and 2-0 to the Blades. Pete, thank you for joining us, pal. Very happy birthday. I won't say live how old you were, because there's plenty of life left in the old dog yet. Don't you worry about that. But yes, happy birthday for last week. Hope you had a great one. And all your Danny just got in touch with me and asked if I'd do it. So, yeah, of course, it's no problem to us, is it? But thank you for your support, mate. It's very much appreciated. Hope you had a good day. Bindon and Tanganga, excuse me, top centre-back pairing. Give Samari a proper run. Also got everything to be a good midfielder. Don't know if I agree, if I'm honest. But I'm certainly not giving up on him. He's a blade, isn't he? But whether we'll actually see that potential reached in a red and white shirt, I'm not convinced, if I'm honest. Seed of Chirac says, my dad still watches on his burner account. He says ages ago that Wilder should not come back, and second half at West Brom proved that. At least you could see what we were trying to do under Sayers. Thank you, the Seed of Chirac. Unbelievable. Sheila says, evening, Jim. Hope you're well. Good news regarding Gyro. You heard anything on Pat Bamford yet? Wonder why Chris is keeping the pec injury in-house. Up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. I've not heard directly. I've heard talks are going well, but that could mean anything, couldn't it? That could mean absolutely anything. If I'm completely honest, and I don't... Listen, Bamford's our boy. I think Gyro was the one I was more nervous about not getting done. And I think it's a very important one to get done. So I think Bamford will get done. I'm more confident. Of the two, I was more confident that Gyro got that Bamford got done anyway. So the fact that Gyro's now signed, I think it's brilliant. I don't think there'll be an issue with Bamford. As for Siddy's injury, Sheila, I think it's just a case of keeping your cards close to your chest and not giving anybody any sort of chance of knowing what's going off, really. Siddy's been a great player for us, and he's got better as the season's gone on, I think. Last season was obviously his breakthrough season, but I think he was just coming into his element a little bit, really, and it's unfortunate that he's picked up an injury. Let's just hope it's not too serious. Excuse me. Ian says, evening, Jimmy. Please not the thumbnail jinx again. I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry. It's relevant, though, isn't it, when all players come back? It is. I have to say that. Sorry, pal. Evening, Jimmy, says Dave Marwood. There has to be a much improved performance from our team after Wilder blasting them last time out. Up all the rambles, up the blades, up the positive 6. Like and subscribe. Welcome to the professional ramble, says Bright. Absolutely right, pal. Absolutely right. Jamie Dumpley says, evening, Jimmy. Not sure if anyone else is having the same issue, but it keeps saying only subs can comment, even though I am. Yeah, we often do set all our streams to that. Jamie, it encourages people to subscribe. And if you're not already subscribed to the Ramble, please do like and subscribe. Thank you, Jamie, for the little plug there. But yeah, it really helps us out if you subscribe and like the video as well. If you want to subscribe to our Patreon, then there's a lot of people that will vouch for it. I'm working on a little bit of marketing for that as well, just so people know what they're signing up for, really, because I think sometimes it's a bit confusing for people. We're streamlining it, we're getting it sorted, so everybody will know. Thank you to everyone that does support us. But yeah, if you want to subscribe, then you're free to comment on the stream. Cairo's signed. Wow! If I was more confident in my geography, I'd have come up with a joke there. But I'm not that good at it, so I'm just going to leave it as a typo for Gyro. John says, evening all up. It's not a Robbo return, as if he somehow finds his way on the pitch. We're in trouble. Oh, John, a man after my own heart. How are you doing, pal? Mark Meldrew says, good evening, Jimmy, pal. Hope you're well. Tough game this, despite their away form not being too good at the moment. Dangerous on any given day. Need to be on it, and big performance needed. Up the blades, up the ramble, up the mark by Meldrew. Absolutely right. Al says, har, Jim lad, up the blades, up the ramble, up the... I forgot what it is again. Jim lad, up the Jim lad, Thank you, Al, our resident pirate. Ridiculous. Crazy, but thank you so much for the £2 super chat. Peake says, just hope CW picks a team and formation that we can get our hair on from the start. Best player of the season so far, in my opinion. Up the blades, up the ramble, like and subscribe. I agree. And Mr. Tequila will agree with you as well, Peake. I think Callum O'Hare needs to be... Look, he hasn't played amazingly well in every game. I think he was pretty quiet from memory last time out. But he's been our best player this season and deserves to be starting, in my opinion. David Vinter says, this Christmas period will tell us the ambitions going forward. We need points on the board. Get a couple in January and then go for top 6, hopefully. Keep the faith, up the blades, up all the rambles. I think for me, David, I agree. Excuse me. Look, I will not write anything off until it's mathematically impossible. And we're a long, long way from anything being mathematically impossible. I think we can still technically win the league. In fact, obviously we can. But I think we're back to that one game at a time mentality for me. We're back to that. Beat Birmingham, then reassess. And then it'll be beat Wrexham, then reassess. And we've got to make sure we do beat them as well. It's not just a case of breezing past them and forgetting about them. It's focus on the task at hand. Bag the points if we can. And if we get 6 points out of the next 2 games, then we can have a little look at how far top 6 are off again. But we've had a wobble, haven't we? 1 point out of a possible 6 is not good. Just have to sort of refocus on what's in front of us, I think. Peake says, just hope Wilder starts with O'Hare, our best player of the season so far, in my opinion. Yeah, I think you've rewritten that, haven't you, Peake? No problem, pal. Bald and brilliant, that's Ali. Says, evening, Jim. I think it'll be a tough Saturday, but I fancy us 2-1. My team would be Coops, Sariki, Tanganga, me or Bindon, Sam McCallum, Hamer or O'Hare, Blaster, Gyro, and Burrows for the left wing position. Do alongside Cannon up top. That's not a bad shout either, to be fair. Thank you, my mate. Bald and Brilliantly will be live with us tomorrow for Football Therapy. I don't think I've updated this one. Oh, I have. Football Therapy, the traitors, the biggest football traitors. Ramble FC, 7:30 tomorrow night. Myself, Lee, the Man Mountain, and Jordan Motson. I think it might be a full house tomorrow, but I need to check with the other two. So yeah, looking forward to that one as well. I don't think that's a bad team at all, Lee, to be honest. Bisto Brett says, evening Jimmy, I'd run through walls for Wilder, making the effort for the Brum game. Red zone in the hotel, 2-0 Blades. I'm going to get you on early for after party, and then you're done. And then you can go and sink your head into a Jaeger bomb. Danny says, got a good feeling about Saturday, especially at home. Birmingham not good at all, playing away. Last opportunity for the players to show up before the window opens. So hopefully that will bring the performance. I'd bring back our Blaster at the side of Riedeveld, me too, as Samari was poor at West Brom. Stick Hamer on the left and Brooks on the right with Cannon and Bamford up top. Burrows, Bindon, Tanganga and Sariki back four. Coops in net. Not bad that, Danny. Excuse me. The one thing I'm noticing with a lot of these teams, yes, we'll always differ in one or two players, I think a lot of us. Not many gone for Campbell up top alongside Bamford. A lot of people saying Cannon and Bamford up top to start. Really interesting. Top ahead of all 4 nines is very Ndai-like. O'Hare pressed from the front via O'Hare. Top ahead of all 4 nines. Okay. Chuzza says, oi, what you saying about our players? We've got Robinson. Oh, wait. Chuzza, you're always welcome here, pal. Don't you worry. I wish you all the best after Saturday. Nige says, evening, Jimmy. For me, drop Hamer and get O'Hare back in. He's been more consistent than Hamer. I know Hamer's been injured, but O'Hare looks more dangerous and starts the press. I agree. Up the Blades, up the Ramble, up behind the Ramble. Like and subscribe. Thank you, mate. Just hope your mate Robinson plays Saturday and has a stinker, but unfortunately, I think their manager knows he's a liability and doesn't play. And Chuzza says, yep, Danny, you know it. John says, hi, Jimmy, do you think we should be looking to sign another left-footed centre-back so we can keep Jaffa in his best position, even with injuries? I watched an interesting video today on the Second Tier pod, and go and give it a watch if you haven't already. It was looking at transfer targets potentially available to championship clubs. And ironic that we should be talking about Birmingham, because they think a player that will be available in January for loan, at least, is Cashin. If we can get Aaron Cashin on loan, he's not getting in at Birmingham. I'm not convinced he starts for us either, if I'm honest, when everybody's fit. But he certainly gives them more of a run than Tyler Bindon does. For whether that's right or wrong, because I think Bindon's been playing okay when he's come in. If there's a chance of that, then it's worth thinking about, isn't it? I'm beeping somewhere. I don't know where. Don't know. Oh well. I thought I could hear a vibrating, but I know it's Bri trying to ring me, but he's probably saying don't read a comment out, but too late for that, I'm afraid. Good news is we can hear you, Jim. I'm just checking me WhatsApp messages that were Lee. Bald and Brilliantly saying, don't worry, Jim, at least we can hear you. Right, anyway. John says, I read that one. Danny says, 3-1 Blades on Saturday, Jimmy. Bamford brace and a Hamer screamer. John says, our record away is utterly shocking. We always seem to concede first within the first 20 minutes. I'll take that, pal. I'll take that. If we somehow score first, you might need the home blues. Doubt it, mind. Okay, mate. Ray says, I just can't see us losing Saturday against Brum. Chris will have fired them up and warned them that they have to turn up, no slacking, up the Blades, up the Ramble, like and subscribe. I do think some of them, to Ray's point, are fighting for the future a little bit now. You've got to question even players like Mark McGuinness, who have recently come in on a permanent. How is he? He's not doing himself any favours with that West Brom performance. If he's any sort of ambition of being here long term, he needs to book his ideas up. That's just one example. I'm not sort of calling him out as an individual, but the Samari Matos performances against Norwich did not take the opportunity in front of him. Okay. I see what Bri were ringing me for. I think Cannon scores against Brum next game. Yeah, let's get rid. Ray says, whoa, what's this falling about? Ban him. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Evening, Jimmy. Hope you're feeling better. I agree with the 2-1 prediction and most of your lineup. I want to see Chong start over Brooks this week if he's available. See you there. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Chris says, evening, Blades. Hope everyone's well. I'm going for a 3-1 win on Saturday. Jimmy, love the content, pal. Thank you, mate. Nice one, Bri. Thank you very much, mate. Andrew says, hi, Jimmy. Hope you're well and can shake the cough. I will do, mate. Don't you worry. Could you please do a birthday message for my 9-year-old little Blade Mason? We're going to the Leicester game and staying at the hotel. Brilliant. Okay, well, yeah, I'll probably see you there, to be fair. So we will probably be at the hotel afterwards. Well, after party will depend on the result. But I just want to say, yeah, huge happy birthday, Mason. I'm hoping that United can get a brilliant birthday present for you by getting 3 points on Saturday. So very happy birthday, mate. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. And behave yourself for your dad. John says, cash in all but confirmed to be going back to Brighton, but it's an expensive loan worth north of 30 grand a week in wages that have to be covered, apparently. Interesting. Excuse me. So some Blades want Harry Souttar back. Completely understandable. Was a brilliant player for us in the first half of last season. Then got a shocking injury. And we've no idea what sort of player will come back. Obviously, it'll be, there'll be shades of the Harry Souttar that we've seen. But to what level of that Harry Souttar would we get back? It's a risk. Or you could get somebody like Cashin, who is very good at the level. I'm just saying. Sam says, only Birmingham player I can see as a threat is Jay Stansfield. If he's playing, keep up the good work, Jim. I'm going 2-1 Blades, up the Ramble. Top man. You can take cash in. He's lazy and rubbish, says Jex. Interesting. Not what I'd seen at Derby, but obviously you've seen him much more recently. Where would Rothwell play when we bring him in when Siddy's fit? Do you play Siddy with Riedveld or Riedveld with Rothwell? I haven't got a clue. For me, they're all different players. So I think at the minute, it's who partners Riedveld. I think that's who it is. That's the dilemma we're in. And I think if Siddy hadn't got injured, it'd be Siddy and Gyro at the minute together. I then think Ollie Arblaster is building up his fitness to get back his place, and he will be formidable competition to get back into that side. And then Rothwell comes in for me as the fourth, possibly. And that's why I'd like to see him come in permanently, Rothwell, because it'd be a bit of a waste of a loan if he's not going to play as regular. But as a permanent option, somebody that can play beyond next season, when we're likely to lose Peck or Arblaster if we don't go up, I think he's a really good option for the level. So that's just my opinion. I think he'd be a really good option. Al says, I fear Blades might underestimate West Brom, so no repeat against Birmingham, who are overdue a good away result. Up the Blades, up the Ramble, like and subscribe. John says, our danger man is Gray without a doubt. Last 5 games looks the Premier League player that we all remember. And thank you, Bri. I must have left my phone in the house. I thought I heard some vibrating, but never mind. I got the message, but thank you, Bri, for sorting that out. We don't need trolls in these chats, do we? We don't need trolls. We like to welcome everybody and be respectful of other people's comments. Right, I want to say thank you to everybody for joining. I'm going to remind everybody that we've got an after party on Saturday, come rain or shine, at the hotel. Following that, on Sunday evening, we'll be doing a live 3 Mardy Blades / 90 after 90 to review the Birmingham game in its entirety. Sort of a Christmas special with the boys, that I would say. I'll have to get it all set up and sorted. The last thing I'm going to say is, it's the last home game before Christmas. You will see me also. I won't be wishing everybody Happy Christmas and Merry Christmas yet. You'll see me plenty before that. But anybody that's going to the match, if you're a Rambler and you go into the match, I want you to wear your badge, and I want you to come after the after party to Triple Point with me. Drinks are on me. So there you go. Merry Christmas to everybody that supports. Really appreciate it. So yeah, we're going to head back to Triple Point after the after party. and drinks from me. So, yeah, Merry Christmas. And I will, let's just hope it's a good result, otherwise we'll be drowning in sorrows. I can't afford Brett's bar bill if that's going to happen. So, right, I'm leaving it there. 2-1 Blades, I'm saying. And I'm comfortable. I'm confident with it. Take that, Cal Fowler. Come on, you red and white wizards. All the Blades!